video, we're going to talk about dividing integers. And one of the things that makes dividing integers straightforward is that it follows the same rules as multiplying integers. So when we divide numbers with the same signs, in other words, a negative divided by a negative, we end up with a positive. And so if I have a negative divided by a negative, the signs are the same, I get a positive. Of course, if I took a number that was positive and I divided it by a positive, I would also end up with a positive answer. And if the signs are different, in other words, if I took negative 15 and I divided it by 5, my answer would be negative 3. When the signs are different and I'm dividing or multiplying with two factors, the answer is negative. And if the signs are the same, positive and a positive, I get a positive, a negative and a negative, I get a positive. And if the signs are different, let's try it with a positive first. How about positive 30 divided by negative 10? In this case, I have a positive being divided by a negative. The signs are different. My answer will be negative. Sometimes we find ourselves expressing division problems in the form of fractions. Let's take a look at that. You may be asked to do something like this. Express negative 3 as a fraction. Well, negative 3 can be expressed as a fraction in several ways. Why don't we look at some? How about, isn't this the same as negative 6 over 2? That would be a negative divided by a positive. That would give us negative 3. We could do something like this. How about if we had 3 divided by negative 1? That would also be equivalent to negative 3. And we could switch around where that negative symbol is. We could put negative 3 up here and positive 1 here. All of these feature a negative divided by a positive. The signs are different. We end up with a negative. Let's try that again with another number. How about if we were trying to do that with 2? We wanted to express 2 as a fraction. Well, we could do that simply by having negative 4 divided by negative 2. The signs are the same. The answer would be positive. Or, how about two positive integers? 6 divided by 3 would also equal 2. And I'm going to slide this up a little bit, and I just want to clarify a point about a negative symbol with fractions. Let's say we have negative 2/3. Okay? It doesn't matter really where I put that negative symbol. Negative 2/3 is the same as negative 2 divided by 3 if I wrote it that way. If I wrote it as 2 over 3 with a negative symbol here, if you have a negative symbol, and generally it is just written to the left of the fraction, the whole fraction is negative. If the numerator is negative and the denominator is positive, and this whole fraction will be negative. Same thing, if the denominator has a negative symbol and the numerator is positive, the whole fraction should be thought of as negative. Sorry, I'm going to put that up to make sure everyone can see it. And that is dividing integers.